Welcome to Marketing News and Trends Live. I'm your host, Chris Lazo. If you are new to the channel, I bring you the latest trends, insights, and happenings that may affect your business, your project, your socials, your life. Basically, anything that has to do with getting your message across to people, that's what I'm here to help you with. In fact, if you are here to grow your social media channel, I would love for you to let me know. Here's how I want you to let me know. Put in a blue heart in the comments. Let me see a blue heart if you're just here because, gosh, I want to grow my social media channel, whether that's TikTok or LinkedIn, blah, blah, blah. If you're just here to learn how to market your business, maybe you're a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, you have a small business, a project of that matter, put in a red heart. Let me see a red heart. And lastly, if you work for a company and you're a marketer, throw in a yellow heart. So there are your three options. Actually, I'm going to put in four. If you're here because you want to figure out how to grow your social media channel, maybe it's TikTok, put in a blue heart. If you want to learn how to market a business, and that's what you're in the middle of doing, put in a red heart. If you're a marketer for a company, put in a yellow heart. And if you're just here because you were scrolling and you just wanted to join something, saw this microphone, you just wanted to jump in on that, put in a white heart. Yeah, do that. Regardless of the hearts, regardless of your reason, I'm glad that you're here. If you fit any of those things, if you're trying to grow your social media channel, if you're trying to market a business, or if you're marketing for a company, you might want to listen to this. And here's why. All of you are marketers in some way or another. Marketing is one of the most confusing terms, I think, in business. Very few people can agree on what it means. However, if we were to strip it down to its most basic idea, marketing is learning to tell a story about you or your brand or your project or your message in a way that captures the right people's attention, okay? And to grow in your craft, you need to reach the right people at the right time with the right content. Now, marketing is ever evolving, meaning if you're in finance, numbers don't change very often. You might have gotten a degree in accounting 20 years ago. Well, that degree is probably still going to serve you if you're an accountant. If you're trying to grow an online profile, if you're trying to grow your social account, if you're trying to grow a business, the rules that govern that, what we often call marketing, it changes all the time. And I want to bring to you some of the biggest trends that I've seen, as well as some insights into what's changing so that you can be better equipped to handle them when you go to market. I see some people joining. Kyle just joined in, a couple people in there. I can't see the top where it shows the number of people, but I can see your names at the bottom. So hello, thanks for joining. My name is Chris Lazo. Before I give you some insights and market trends for how to best position your social media account or your business or your message, a little bit about me and my qualifications, if we can call them that, or if that helps. One, I am a marketer. My full-time job is as a senior manager of demand generation for a tech SaaS company, so software as a service. I've been doing that for a number of years. I also have a side hustle where I help small businesses, solopreneurs, market their product or their service. So a lot of information coming at me that I want to bring to you. And if you're just jumping on this live right now, I want to bring you some news and trends in the marketing world for those of you that want to grow your business, grow your social media account, or just get your message across. Maybe you're like, I'm a 50-year-old dad and I wanted to start a TikTok and I just don't want to dance. Like, what else can I do? Well, here's some things that you can be aware of that will help you, especially if you want to monetize any of that and you want to sell it, okay? Now, I'm going to give you 3 trends and insights that I've seen over the last year watching the market that you are going to need to look out for, and as well as some things to do proactively to go forward. But before I get into those, if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, please put them in the comments. I can see the comments from where I am, and I'll stop and interact with your comments as best as I can. So just put them in the comments so that I can see your questions. And now I'd love to share some things coming around the bend in the business world so that you can prepare yourself to be more successful. The trends and insights, and I want to give you three. The first one is budget, okay? This is a trend. The other ones will be insights. This is a trend. This is a new one. Now, whether you are a marketer in a big B2B company or whether you sell e-commerce and you have a small business, or you're just trying to dip your heels in digital products and you want to sell an ebook or a course, this is a huge one. This is going to affect you. And you probably have an idea of what I'm about to say when I talk about budget, is nobody has any anymore. In 2020 and 2021, for a huge part of 2021, coming out of the pandemic and onto the heels of, what would I call it, remote work from home, there was a lot of buying power, meaning people were stuck at home, they were bored, they were restless, they wanted to buy things. With the kind of explosion of work from home, people got bigger salaries, they had more flexibility, and all of that kind of worked together to kind of free up capital. So people just started spending. You saw this with companies hiring a lot of people. You saw it with people buying a lot of stuff. You saw technology being used, like Zoom calls and other things like Slack and email being used more often than before. And so there was a lot being spent in the years 2020 and 2021. At the end of 2022, I can safely say that people are tightening their budgets. They're tightening their budgets, tightening the financial belt. And they're starting to look at what they can cut and what they can't. So the way this affects you, if you're selling a product on TikTok or you're selling it on your email list, or you're selling maybe a service or a product, maybe you're in e-commerce, it doesn't matter. The way this is going to affect you is that people's budgets for what you're offering are going to be smaller, and your offering is going to be more heavily scrutinized. And it's really going to come, here's how it's going to affect your marketing. It's really going to come down to how well you're able to message your ROI, return on investment. Lots of people, when they do buy things, they're really going to be thinking through, how is this going to make my life better? How is it going to make me money? How is it going to save me time? And if your product doesn't do that, they're not going to want to buy it. If your service doesn't do that, they're not going to want to buy it. But even more so, and this is where marketing comes in, even if your product or service does help people, if your messaging does not put that across, they're not going to want a piece. Okay? And so with smaller budgets going into 2023, it's all going to be around ROI. That's the trend we're going to see with effective businesses, whether big or small, is they're going to message ROI very well. So how does this affect you? Start thinking about what your offering does for people. What's the bottom line? How does it make their life better? How does it save them time? How does it remove barriers? How does it make them money? Those are the types of things we're going to start seeing more and more of. And the ones who do it well are going to, they're going to advance a lot better than others. I'm going to pause right here because I see a question from a friend. It says, hi, Lazo, great setup you got. I spent 4 hours on video today and got 22 views, but still proud. Yes! Oh, I can see your, yes, I see your avatar right there. I can only see the handle, underscore UMR13. Doesn't show me your real name, but I remember some conversations with you in the TikTok. in the TikTok comments section. Good job getting in front of video, talking about face to camera. I think we were discussing. That's actually going to be one of my points today as well. So good on you for getting ahead of that. 22 views is bigger than 0, right? That's what I have to say about it. Whenever people go on and make content for the first time, it can be really demoralizing when you don't get likes, you don't get views, you don't get interaction right away. You certainly don't make money right away. But I just want to remind you, that's how everyone starts. Unless you're a celebrity, that's how everyone starts. And it starts small, but consistency is the game plan. If you can continue to do that, you're going to start to see, 32 views, maybe 40 views. Maybe it'll come down to 10 views. Maybe one day you'll get 0 views and you'll be like, why am I doing this? But you're going to hear Chris Lazo in the back of your head just being like, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep going, keep going. So good on you for doing that. Budget. That's the first trend that I want to highlight, things that we're going to face as marketers. Whether you consider yourself a marketer or you just have a message or a product to get out, you're going to have to be a marketer. And so this is a big one. People don't have as much budget as they used to. And so we're going to have to message return on their investment way better than before. Here is the second insight. The second insight is trust. When I say trust, I mean people trust their peers and their friends and their colleagues a lot more than they do marketers. And I see a comment from a friend in here. He says, oh, Lazo, wish it weren't bedtime already for me so I could watch you. Just stay for like 5 minutes and then go to bed, because this one's going to be good. Trust is in authority figures, in Google search results, in consultants, in marketers is eroding, and people trust their peers more than all of those things. Where do we go when we want to buy something? Where do we go when we want to try something? We go to the people that we know, right? That could be our close friends. It could be our colleagues at work. It could be people that we've built a relationship with on TikTok. I see people in my feed right now leaving comments. I know them, they know me. We are more apt to trust one another, I'm assuming, than we would a random blog post that came up in Google search results. People trust their peers more than they do any other authority, whether that's a marketer, a website, your landing page, or Google search results. That means, and here's what that means for us who have TikTok accounts, who have brands, who have businesses, or who just want to get a message out. We must become the friend of our prospects and clients, future clients. We must, and I don't mean gimmicky. I recently changed my handle to Chris Lazo Unsleazy Marketing, because I hate the sleaze that comes along with marketing, the unethical, gimmicky stuff where you just try to trick people into buying. I'm not into that at all. I'm into finding people who need what you have to offer, who just can't find you. Like all of you in this feed, you have something amazing to offer the world. The world needs to know what you have to offer. They need to know what the point of view that you bring into the world. They just can't find you. And so that's why we're on TikTok, right? That's why we're on TikTok. I gotta preach it in the comments. I'm about to preach it. Thanks, my friend. I'm about to preach something right now because... Okay, got to go back to my news persona, not the preaching persona. Part of marketing, and what I feel like is good marketing versus sleazy marketing, is that we're just trying to get good stories into the world. There are people who need you. They just don't know you exist. And that's what good marketing does. It gets you in front of the people who are already looking for somebody like you. Now, here's the thing. Going back to my second point, the second insight, is that trust is eroding. People trust their friends and peers more than anything else. We must become our prospects and our audience's friend. Now, I don't mean that in a gimmicky way, like pretending to be or doing gimmicky stuff to come across like we're relatable. I actually mean becoming friends with our customers, our prospects, strangers that might be in our market? Yes. Okay. Oh, this is great. Adele just left a comment. This is perfect. Says building trust will be essential going forward. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Can someone hit the like button for Adele's comment right there? That's what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about building trust with the people that we're trying to connect with. And there's no better way to do that than social media and TikTok. I want to give you 3 ways to begin cultivating trust with your prospects. Oh yeah, I got another friend on here, Haroon. I think I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry, so sorry if I'm not, but I recognize you. We've interacted many times. Says I'd love to hang out with you here, but got a client in the moment. Agree on trust big time. Awesome. And yes, totally agree. Get that client. That is more important. And go get them. Thanks for jumping in, and glad to hear that I pronounced your name. Great to see you, Haroon. Come back later. Adele says, I think that if you have a serve mentality, you are halfway there. I couldn't agree with you more. That is spot on. I think being able to show up on platforms like TikTok, not to gimmick our way to a sale or even a connection. Got another friend. It's Maurice. What's up, my friend? Good afternoon to you as well. It is actually afternoon where I am. I'm on the East Coast. It's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that makes me think you're also on the East Coast if it's afternoon where you are. But thanks for joining. We're talking about insights and trends in the market that will affect everything that we're doing. The first one is budget. The second one is trust. People trust their peers and their colleagues and their friends more than marketers, Google search, SEO, more than, probably more than ChatGPT. We trust people that we trust, to put it another way. And so I think there's 3 things for us to move forward, to be able to tap into that in a non-gimmicky, non-sleazy way. One is to recognize the creator economy. And Adele's been saying this. A couple of people have been saying this. Haroon said this. It's to understand that people trust the people that they know and that they connect with. This can obviously and most naturally be friends and colleagues and peers, people that you have been hanging out with a long time, people that you work with and you're in the trenches with. But here's where I want to lead it to. It can also affect social media accounts. When you have a personal brand that people trust, when you're on TikTok and you're creating content that is of value and people know you and they get used to you and they like you and they engage with you, they begin to trust you over time. Even if they've never met you before, you are building trust in the same way a colleague or a peer does that as well. And so we live in a creator economy where people like you and I can hop on TikTok, a free tool, and with no budget, we can just start creating content that resonates with certain audiences. And so that's the first one. Under trust, how do we build trust for our business, our project, or our message? One is recognize it's a creator economy and start creating. Some of you are doing that. Some of you are starting to do that. Some of you have not. You have yet to post a video, and I am here to tell you to post that video. Do one today, okay? Show your face. Look at me, showing my face. I want you to show your face too. Just do it. I don't care if the video sucks. I don't care if you stumble over your words. I don't care if you don't know what to talk about. I don't care if it's nerve-wracking. All of those things might be true, but do you understand that on TikTok, there are over 1 billion users on this platform, with I think 81% of them actually creating and consuming regularly, active users. I think 81% of that 1 billion is monthly active users. There has never been a better time to be on social than right now, I believe. And the crazy thing is, few people are actually creating on this platform. Those billion users are consuming. That means there is so much potential for you to carve out a niche for your message, your product, or your service. Adele says, I'm guilty. Hey, no, it's not about guilt at all, my friend. I'm just saying, I think you would I think you would experience a lot more success maybe than you think just by trying it. I'm telling you, there's so many users consuming TikTok. This is a fun app. It's more fun than Facebook, I think. Just my personal opinion. Um, it's more engaging for me than nurture platforms like Instagram. To be honest, I'm tired of seeing highly curated, beautiful reels. I just want raw and honest. You know what I mean? And I get that here. I get that in places like Twitter and sometimes LinkedIn as well. But the reason TikTok is, I think, so much more advantageous than all of those is because video first. It is a video native platform. All those other platforms are adding video to their platform, but it's not native. That's not how they started. TikTok was birthed out of short form video. Maurice says, this is why I've been driving my clients to create video cast shows. That is absolutely true. I've seen your content, Maurice. You are so good at this. And you're spot on in that people need to be on video. And I think that's one of the biggest things. I don't know if it's a carryover from Instagram where everything needs to be perfect, but that's what's something that's so refreshing to me about TikTok is it can be raw. It could be like on your back porch, just filming with your phone, and people resonate with it as long as your message and your point of view is engaging. One person says, how to build trust for a service, not a product. I do tattoos and I can't sell my skill. Oh, I see what you're saying. Your product, how do you build trust for a service, not a product? You are a tattoo artist, so you can't sell your skill to others, meaning you wouldn't be able to do educational tutorials on TikTok where you teach people to do tattoos themselves, is what I'm gathering. However, I think, and I'll have to check out your account later, but I've seen a lot of tattoo artists with great success going on video platforms like Instagram and TikTok and just posting their work. There's an entire community of people who love that and they consume that. One of my tattoo artists from another year, I'm tattooed arms and legs, full sleeves. Dan Weissep, he's got an incredible presence on Instagram and maybe even TikTok. Dan, I think his last name is Wysup, I think. But he does a great job of expanding his business on platforms like this. But there's always a way to get yourself out there, either by teaching what you do or teaching others how to do something or showcasing your work or just talking face to camera, sharing your point of view. You can do that as well. Yes, Adele shares TikTok is so much more personal. It's unreal. I agree. I totally agree. That's why I like it so much. And so there's an example, creator economy. The other thing is we're seeing this trend in the marketplace, especially on social media, something that Amanda Natividad calls zero-click content. Zero-click content. It's this idea that to post something valuable, you don't need to click out with an outbound link to go somewhere else. That used to be very popular in the last 10 years. You know, I'll send you an email and it tells you about an ebook that I want you to read, but you need to click to my website to get it. Or, you know, I post something on Facebook about a news article and you got to click out to get it. And zero-click content is this new thing that's been happening, I think, over the last year where people just don't want to click out anymore. They want everything of value within the feed right there. I don't know if it's short attention span or just people's lack of trust in marketing. I'm a marketer and I hate clicking on links because I don't want to get retargeted with ads. I don't want to get cookied. I don't want people sending me stuff. I just want to read the content right there without clicking on anything. My tattoo artist friend, look at Maurice's comment. You could try doing live tattoo designs. That would probably kill it. Lives are becoming incredibly effective for growing accounts and making revenue. Adele says, zero-click content. Interesting. Makes sense. Who likes cookies? Email marketing. It's true. And so gone are the days where we offer fluffy content, enticing people into our email nurture or into our list. People want all the proposed value in the feed. They want it in your video. They want it right there, quickly and short. And so the people that do that really well are going to be set apart. If you're able to provide people value quickly, and it's deep and robust and valuable for them, that's going to set you apart from everyone else. The third thing, and this is still under the trust column, is we've got to learn how to cultivate those people in our market who aren't yet ready to buy yet. And here's what I mean. LinkedIn did a study, I think it was last year, and they called it the 95-5 rule. And it goes like, it basically means this. 95%, or actually, let me start backwards. 5%, approximately 5% of your target audience is ready to buy from you right now. Meaning if you have a product or a service that you sell, or you have a social media account and you just want to grow it and you're targeting a certain group of people, or if you are working for a company and you sell a product there, whatever it is, maybe you're in e-commerce, I don't know, you sell something, only 5% approximately of your target addressable market, that is anyone in the whole world who could possibly buy from you, only a small segment, about 5%, are willing to buy right now. And so as marketers, we want to make it easy for that 5% to buy. We give them calls to action. We send them sales emails. We direct them to a landing page. We might target them with ads. We might say buy now. But that's only 5% of everyone who's available to you. The 95-5 rule says that 95% of everyone who could possibly be in market to buy from you, 95% are not yet ready to buy. I want you to think about how mind-blowing this stat is. That means the vast majority of people that you are trying to reach will not, for whatever reason, buy from you right now. Only about 3 to 5% of your target addressable market are ready to buy from you right now. So for them, we want to make it as easy as possible. Here's the buy now CTA. Here's my offer. Here's my sales page. Here's my landing page. Buy my product. You don't have to do any work to get them. You just got to make it easy for them to click that buy button. But 95%, the vast majority of people you are trying to reach don't want to buy from you right now. And so the question for the good marketer, the unsleazy marketer, is what do we do with the 95% of everybody? Because they might be, maybe a year down the line, maybe 2 years down the line, they might be in market to buy from you. They're just not ready yet. So what do we do? How do we show up for people who are not yet ready to buy? Adele says, Lazo, I hope you're recording this so you can clip the hell out of this. So many gems. I do not know how to record a live. I should have, but maybe I'll turn this into a few individual videos. Adele also says, I've read somewhere that you need 7 interactions before you can actually buy something. Yes. So glad you said that. That's a very common marketing stat, which is pretty true. It's like a general rule. So I don't know, it could be 6, it could be 10. But in general, the idea is people need to see you a lot. And not by, oh, Maurice, thank you. I didn't know that. It'll show up in my live studio. That's perfect. Maybe I'll post this. And by 7 touch points, that's what I call them. People often need approximately 7 touch points from you before they're willing to trust you enough to buy your product or your service. And I like to think that that's not in the same way, you know. Meaning if you call somebody or you cold email them 7 times, they're probably not gonna buy from you. They're probably gonna be pissed. But if you show up all over the place, like maybe you send them an email and then a few days later, they see your TikTok video because it shows up in their feed. And then maybe the following week, a paid ad puts you in front of them. It gives you this feeling, it gives the feeling of omnipresence. Like, ooh, Maurice or Adele, they're everywhere. I turn on my computer and I keep seeing them. I go onto TikTok and I see them. And it's not sleazy, right? It's not sleazy marketing. It's like they're part of your target audience and you keep showing up everywhere with a message that resonates with them. Very powerful. So yeah, couldn't agree with you more. Yes. Oh, okay. What Mari said right here, this is spot on. This is where I wanted to get into. He says, we also need to use the soap opera formula and create content that is designed for the 95%. Yes. Yes. And that's where my leading question is going. If the way we convert the 5% who's ready to buy is to sell to them, how do we show up for the 95% that is not ready to buy or be sold to? It's my opinion, from my experience in marketing, that one of the best ways to do that, and this is going to look different depending on who you are, your industry, all of that stuff, a number of different factors, but it's to show up in the way that they need you to show up in that moment. Now, if they're not ready to buy something, the question we got to ask is why? Why don't they want to buy? Well, maybe it's my first trend that I shared, budget. They're tightening the belt and they can't afford everything, and so they're trying to figure out which things are going to bring them the best return on investment. So that might be something that you could talk about with the 95. Talk about how you can bring a return on investment. Or maybe they're not even ready for a solution. They don't want to buy your product. They don't want to buy your service. They just really, they really love your content and they're learning from it. So give them some educational stuff that they don't have to purchase, that isn't contingent upon them clicking out to a landing page or buying something or signing up for something. Just give them content that continues to help them and allows them to thrive. Or maybe they're even further up the funnel and they don't even know that they have a problem that you solve. So I'll use an example here. Maybe it's someone who wants to get a tattoo, but they have all these questions, all these obstacles about tattooing. Maybe they're asking questions about hygiene, like, oh, will I catch something, or oh, I don't know, like a tattoo is gonna be on me forever. Like, how do you even think through that? Or maybe they're like, oh, I really love that style, that Japanese style of tattooing, but I've never, like, how do I even find that? They're just asking questions. They're not ready to buy anything. So maybe you're a tattoo artist on TikTok and you're creating content that answers some of those questions. You're putting it out there. For those of you that are just joining, got a tattoo artist here with us today. So I'm trying to use real life examples here. Maurice says, educate, support, and train them. Absolutely. Absolutely, Maurice. Couldn't agree with you more. Provide value for free. Show up, nurture them, they'll buy. See, this is a great crowd right now. You all know what you're talking about. One person said, I started selling on Etsy and advertised only on my IG. TikTok seems to have a better exposure. You're 100%. Vendula, I think is your name. And the reason for that is that Etsy it's an e-commerce shop. TikTok is by nature an outreach platform. So it is designed to get you in front of new people. Other platforms like that are Pinterest. And a similarity between Pinterest and TikTok is that they're less social media platforms. They're more search engines. So you can actually search for queries and questions like you would Google, and it will pull up pins or videos answering your question. And for that reason, those are very good outreach programs or platforms. But part of being an outreach platform means that it's very hard to cultivate community on TikTok or Pinterest. Really well, LinkedIn, Instagram. But either way, a great way to think through it is, okay, once I reach new people, how am I going to cultivate a relationship with them? And that brings us back to our original thought here, the 95-5 rule. The reason we want to cultivate relationships is because most of your audience is not yet ready to buy from you. And the small percentage, 5%, that is ready to buy, you want to make it as easy as possible for them to do that. Just put a CTA in front of them, a call to action, give them the offer. But for everyone else, we want to show up in a way that's valuable for them. And if it's not to buy, then what is it? Those are the questions we got to ask. As some of you have said, it's to support them, educate them, train them. It's to give them value. Okay. Ooh, I got a lot of comments in here, maybe questions. I'm going to pause my agenda here, but right before I get into the last trend that I'm seeing, which is a doozy. It's a good one. I want to interact with some of your questions here. Yep, Vendula says, yeah, most of my customers like videos of my art processes before they purchased anything. That's a great point. So maybe part of your social media strategy is to post examples of your art, maybe to post examples of other art forms, explain them. I don't know. That's maybe something for you to dive into and to experiment with. Maurice says, if you want to work with Upsteam creating content that focuses on the problems, example, I want to look more attractive for the ladies. Here are 5 ways to look more attractive. Totally. That's a great way to put it. Especially on TikTok, where sharing a list is very attractive in the algorithm to people. They love lists. 5 ways to do this, 3 ways to do that. Of course, I'm going to leave that particular educational piece to you, Maurice, not me. One could be a tattoo with numbers to back up the claims. There's another example. Adele, thanks so much for tonight's insights. My pleasure. With that, let me wrap up by including my last insight in the marketing world. For those of you that are with me, thanks for being here. Leave any comments. I still have a few minutes before I'll log off. But here's the third thing to watch out for. Whether you are selling a product or a service, whether you're working for a company as a marketer, or whether you're just on TikTok, you just want to get your message out, you want to grow your following. Here's something I want you to think through. The third insight is attribution or data. And the two are not the same. When I say attribution, what I'm talking about is when we measure the results of our marketing. How many of you have gotten on TikTok or you've launched an email list and you've wondered, is it working? And what are the ways that we tell if it's working? Well, we usually look to a certain kind of data. In the social media world, we call it vanity metrics. It's things like likes and comments and other types of engagement. If you have an email list, we look at opens and click rates. And then to go even deeper, we ultimately look for revenue and that type of thing. We want to know people are buying from us. But those are what I would call quantitative data. It's all about the numbers. And when I think of good data, a healthy, robust picture of data, I always have quantitative data, that is the numbers. So likes, comments, opens, revenue, everything in between. But then I think you also need to have quantitative data. Quantitative data. That has to do with customer insights and how customers perceive you. And that's a little harder to measure through the same attribution software. It doesn't show up in your TikTok analytics, does it? You don't know what people think of you when you look at your email marketing software. But it's incredibly important because the numbers only tell you one side of the story. We absolutely need to have we absolutely need to have customer insights to learn how they found us, what resonates with them, what we're teaching on or sharing or offering that's really kind of touching on things that matter to them. Sorry, I just saw a comment in there. It was awesome. Will quantitative data save your marriage? Quantitative data might not save your marriage, but listen, Qualitative data might, because qualitative data would be asking your spouse, how am I doing? Quantitative data would be how many years you've been married. It would be how many times you wash the dishes. It would be, or whatever, how many times you come home with a paycheck. But qualitative data is the quality of the relationship. It would be how many, it would be asking your spouse, how am I doing? How can I grow? What are some things that you appreciate that I do? What are some things that I can work on? And, we're getting into marriage and I want to stop right there because that's not my expertise. That's not my lane of expertise. But I want to use that as an analogy to pull it back into business. It's the same thing with your business. So we do want to look at the revenue. We do want to look at the likes and the comments. We do want to look at the quantitative data, where we see the numbers and we see how things are performing. We see how content is performing and how people are engaging. But we also want to look at qualitative data by asking people, asking our customers, asking our prospects, asking our audience, how is this working? Is this helping you? How did you find me? What's resonating with you? What do you want to see more of? And when we put both of those things together, the customer insights with the numbers, we get a more robust picture of how our business can be effective in the future. Let's see, new person here, World of Cooking Online says, I shared 900 videos on TikTok for free, and soon I go to sell videos, so it's all very helpful. Awesome. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. So glad to hear that. Maurice says, you're talking about the marriage comment, huh? It might if you went from 0% taking the trash out on time to 100% success rate week over week. And then I would add into that, Maurice, just asking a customer question. Is this helping? For me, my spouse loves acts of service, so she absolutely loves when I take out the trash. Some spouses don't. They want gifts, or they want words of affirmation. You ever heard of the 5 love languages? And so this, as funny as this analogy is, you could be doing what you think is beneficial to your customer or what you think is beneficial to your spouse, but for them, like, it doesn't speak their language. They're like, no, you suck at being a spouse. I just want you to take out the trash and you keep buying me stuff. So there's where quantitative data, I get these mixed up all the time. There's where qualitative data really makes sense. I'll give you an example before I close down and log us off of how this has worked for me. When I worked for a SaaS company, we would often have a demo form on our website, and we always push people to the landing page through our marketing collateral and our marketing content. And the purpose of the landing page was to make a sale, right? So it was usually to schedule a demo because we're selling these big software as a service subscriptions that are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you can't really just buy that like you would buy a wallet on Amazon Prime. You have to schedule an appointment to see how it works, to ask your questions. And so that would be the big marketing, call to action, is schedule a demo. Well, when we looked on our Google Analytics, we saw that most people were coming direct to our website, or it appeared to. And that told us, based on the quantitative data, most of our customers or most of our prospects seem to be Googling our URL, our website, and coming directly to us. And if that's the only piece of data that we had, I would have, as a marketer, immediately thought, okay, our website must be cooking because people know who we are and they're just Googling www.company.com. So, or maybe they're searching for a problem and our SEO is really working. So I would have poured more money into SEO, into our website. But here's the draw. A person on our team added in to that demo form where you put in your email and your name so that we can contact you, added a free fill form that said, how did you find us? And you would be surprised at one of the biggest reasons people found us. It was colleague or peer. Do you remember Do you remember when we talked about trust earlier today? People trust their peers and their colleagues and their friends more than anybody else, including Google. That was the number one reason that people found us. So people weren't finding us through SEO queries. They had a problem and they were talking to their friends at work, on Slack, in a community, and their friends were recommending our company. And so they were going on to Google and direct searching for us. So instead of pouring money into SEO, we started pouring money into channels that had more to do with word of mouth, like social media. And so there's how data can really inform your go-to-market strategy. And you do need the numbers, but you also need to just talk to customers, talk to prospects. However you can, talk to them as much as you can, get those insights, because your customers and your prospects are the best insight into how marketing works for you. And that's basically a free gimme. Imagine that, asking someone who could buy from you, hey, how can I do this better? Oh, got my friend David in the house, fellow marketer. What's up, my friend? Another person says, I'm a small business, but very hard to scale. Very hard to scale. What do you do? I see you're looking up your account. It says natural beauty, natural vegan beauty products. Okay, awesome. I'm assuming you sell facial products maybe, or some kind of skincare that's healthy and vegan, and it's kind of an e-commerce business. Am I right in that? So those were my 3 things. For those of you just joining, Chris Lazo live, marketing trends to watch out for. The 3 are budget. People don't have any. So if you want to do really good marketing in the year to come, you're going to message around return on investment. You're going to market your product, your message, and your company, and your business, and your brand, or your social media account in a way that shows your audience what's in it for them, because they're going to be asking this question more than they were before. The second insight is trust. People trust their peers, their friends, and their colleagues more than any other source of information. More than me, more than a marketer, more than Google search, more than a consultancy. They trust their peers. And so for people who do marketing, we need to become their friends. And this has never been easier to do in the creator economy than it is today. Brands, it's a little hard to do that unless you're a one-person brand, but it can be done. But anyone who is down with the creator economy that can get on TikTok and start giving value and start resonating with other people, showing up in their lives and in their business, giving, you can create trust with people who've never even met you before, and thereby building trust in your message, your business, and your brand. And then the last one is data and attribution. We all are a little comfortable and knowledgeable about measuring numbers. We know a little bit about analytics. Maybe you've seen the analytics button that tells us what people are doing in a way that our software can measure. But we also need to understand customer insights, things that are difficult to measure via your analytics dashboard. And for that, it just takes old-fashioned relationships, asking your prospects and customers questions about what's working and what's not. Okay, let me just sift through these comments and questions real quick before I log off. Oh yeah, there's a whole conversation happening in here. Your business is shampoo, shower gel, serum, and face wash. Yes, it's an e-commerce, advertising and getting revenue. And David hops in. David's a great marketer. It says, happens quickly when you value rapport and build it quickly. Absolutely. You don't want me to leave? Okay. If you don't want me to leave, David, then I need you to either ask me a question or shoot out a controversial statement for me to interact with, or just tell me what you want next. Because I reached the end of my my prepared share today. While David's typing in something, if you are new to this channel, you're new to me, I would just want to thank you for being here. If any of this was helpful for you, Follow me here on TikTok. I do this stuff all the time, but in short form, bite-sized pieces. I love sharing unsleazy marketing. I love talking about marketing for solopreneurs, for people that just want to get their message out, but they're a team of one. They don't have $1 million marketing budget, but they want to grow their message. They want to grow their business and their brand, but they want to do it with free tools, and they want to do it in a way that is natural, that isn't gimmicky or silly or sleazy. So follow me on TikTok. I do this all the time, every day. And I'll try to do more lives like this because y'all are awesome and this is fun. If you want more in-depth marketing strategy, join my email list. So you can go to that in the link in my bio, or just go to chrislazo.com. First link on my right there is to sign up for my email newsletter. I usually try to send an email out once a week where I talk in long form about business strategy, so on and so forth. Oh, got my friend Honeybee Social. Yes. Clem, I think is her real name, is here. She does great work, and I love that you're on here. She says, what are your thoughts on Meta subscription news? Oh my gosh. I'm embarrassed to say, Clem, that I don't even know what that means. I have not been following Meta or Facebook in a long time. I think I just got so burnt on the platform. Maybe it's a lot better than it used to be. But I would love if you could just catch me up in a sentence or two on what that is. I imagine it's you have to pay a subscription to use Meta in some form or another. Okay. Our friend with the shampoo business, the vegan shampoo business, says TikTok versus IG. Value-wise, IG is better. I think that depends on your particular strategy. As I shared earlier, different social platforms have different different skills, if I can call it that. You have outreach platforms like TikTok and Pinterest that are really search engine. They're search engines. You search for queries, and when you search for queries, you get sent to a video or to a pin. And because of that, people tend to use these types of platforms to find answers to their problems. And it's a great way to find new people. That's why on TikTok, you're always encountering and being exposed to new people. And I don't know if you've experienced this, but I have a lot of friends on TikTok. I barely see their content anymore. I have to actually seek them out intentionally to look through their feed. And that's because TikTok is an outreach platform. It's meant to put you in front of new people that haven't seen you yet. Other platforms like IG, you just brought up Instagram, is a great nurture platform. It's meant to cultivate a community, doing that obviously through pictures and reels, but also the comment section. LinkedIn is also great for that. Twitter, I think is great for that. And so you might often hear about social media channel strategies where you use more than one as an offboarding ramp. So a lot of people might start with Pinterest or TikTok, to get new people, but then they'll offboard them onto a nurturing platform like LinkedIn or like Instagram, or maybe their email list, and then they're able to make sales to a community that they've cultivated trust with, which is hard to do on TikTok. It's really hard to sell things on TikTok for that reason. But that's one way people do it. Not the only way. Someone asked me, Chris, tell us your background. My background is I am a full-time marketer. My official title is Senior Manager of Demand Generation for a tech company. Been doing that for a while, both in data intelligence now and health tech before that. And I also do marketing on the side, specifically with content strategy. So people will hire me as a contractor to either help them build out their content strategy or their go-to-market strategy, or to build it, design it, and sometimes to execute it as well. So I do that on the side, and then my full-time job is working as a senior manager of demand gen. David says, lots of chatter on AI. Wow, people are blowing up. You guys really didn't want me to leave, huh? I was about to log in, and then I got like 20 questions and comments here, but I love this. Thank you. I'm going to try to go through them as much as possible so that I get everyone's questions. Lots of chatter on AI. What are great ways for people to begin to embrace it? Ooh, David, I think this might be your purview because you're the Chat GPT guy. So I'd love to hear your insight into this, but I'll give you mine since you asked. Great ways for people to begin embracing AI. I think that depends on what you want to embrace it for. The list is endless in the ways that you can use it to make life better. So for that reason, I think the list is overwhelming to share. But for marketing your business, there's so many different ways. I think for the solopreneur, one of the ways that instantly comes to mind is using AI to make your life a little easier. Solopreneurs often have to wear a lot of hats. They have to work long hours. They have to do everything. They don't have teams. They're a team of one. And so using AI to make tedious things a little more automated is one way that I personally do that for myself. I actually use AI. I use ChatGPT and Jasper AI to write a lot of copy. Again, it takes my copywriting skills to generate the right prompts, especially in the world of healthcare and data intelligence, where things need to be very specific and are often technical, but a great way to get a lot of quality work done in a short amount of time. Someone asked my background on marketing. That's it. That's my background, is just working for tech and for small businesses for many years. And just and before that, just learning to tell stories. I was in the speaking circuit as well and did a lot of education. And out of that, just learned how to tell stories in a compelling way that got people's attention. And so I just wanted to do marketing more full time, I guess I could say. That's how I landed in it, and I love it. Awesome. Hey, Clem says, hey, okay, I'm finally reaching the bottom here of the questions. Mari says they're charging for Blue Check. I see now. And then, yeah, Clem says Meta is now offering a subscription for the Blue Tick verification and customer service. They're charging for customer service. Well, that sucks. And awfully reminiscent of Twitter, isn't it? Paying for the blue check mark. I honestly don't know what I think about that. And Twitter, I am on Twitter. Lazo Chris is my handle, one word. And I remember when Elon installed the Twitter checkmark policy. I think you have to pay $8 a month for the checkmark. I thought it was silly at first because initially the checkmark meant that you were your identity was validated, and that was a huge thing. You know, it brought more trust and validity to your voice on the platform. So at first I was like, this doesn't make sense. Why would I pay to validate myself? That just means anyone with money can just get the blue check mark. But then I started to see all of these new perks that Twitter rolls out for Twitter that you can only use if you have that blue check mark and you pay that monthly subscription. It's a lot of stuff like long form content and that kind of thing that I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder if it's the same for Meta. But like I said, I'm never on Facebook. But I do generally like the approach with social media and really all software. I think there should be a free version, a freemium free version that we can all use. And I think there should be a paid subscription for people that want more. If David's in the house, he'll know this. ChatGPT is like, they're the best at this. They got like 2 million users in like a month just playing with the product. I could not think of a better product-led marketing strategy in a long time. Here's our system. Here's AI. Use it. Do some stuff. Create some code. They got all of these users that are sold on ChatGPT, and now they're rolling out a pro version. I think that's a huge thing. I love that. Clem asks, second question, when do you want to come on the Mad Marketing Moms podcast? Well, I'm not a mom, but I am a mad marketer, and I think moms are awesome, especially mom marketers as well. My wife, who is the mom of my kids, actually had she's a designer for an architecture firm now, but for a while she was making very successful clothes for toddlers. So she was in that whole Etsy world, having to market as well. So saw that side of things. That's a really cool niche, by the way, Clem. Gotta run. Let's talk about getting you on the podcast while making grilled cheese. I'm in, Clem. Give me more details because I'm running out of content with the cheese. David says, dad marketers, I'm in. Let's do it. We could, you know what? I actually love this idea, David, because I'm seeing that there's a ton of people who are doing marketing